There is a misconception with regard to that. The Gazette actually came out on the 16th of March with the results. The law says that there is 21 days after the gazetted results, which by my count would make it Good Friday, I believe. So, since Good Friday is a public and bank holiday, the deadline effectively would be Holy Thursday.
But you have more coming, right?
There are more election petitions that will be filed, yes. The reasons for the decision are basically in two parts. The first, on which we were quite successful, is the proposition that the returning officer only has the right to look at the nomination paper to see whether the nomination paper is in proper order. The court did accept that that is something that is very arguable and that is probably the right proposition, and it is only in very limited circumstances that the returning officer can look to anything else. The other issue is whether there was this other claim, the constitutional claim, whether it is the same or it is not. Obviously, the Chief Justice took a position that the issues are substantially the same and that the parties are substantially the same. And it is for that reason only that leave is being refused for Yolanda Schakron to file an election petition.
But obviously, you all thought you had a very strong case. Are you surprised by the decision?
I'm a little hesitant to say whether I'm surprised. Obviously, we heard the arguments that Mr. Barrow made. They were good arguments. We still hold to our position that they are not the same case. It is something different. And so we will be looking to see what our next steps are. However, I would like to repeat that we believe that the central premise was still very much the same. And it is important because these kinds of issues will arise to returning officers in the future. And the fact of the matter is that the law is very narrow. The returning officer is not an election judge, cannot conduct the kind of inquiry that is needed to look into matters of disqualification. And in the future, if disqualifications arise, returning officers are not simply going to treat it the way that Noreen Fairweather treated this matter on nomination day. They will know the limits of their power and know that it is only a patent absurdity or a patent clarity. Then, therefore, they can proceed. On that day, let's be very clear. What was presented to Noreen Fairweather was photocopies of photocopies and allegations in the media, nothing more. No exercise was conducted to see whether, in fact, and in law, there was the disqualification claim. And that has still not been established by the law as far as we're concerned. A ruling was handed down by Mr. Justice Legal sometime on Friday. We had no notice of that ruling, but be that as it may. And an order was perfected on the very same Monday in which we were in court, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was the 24th of March. That was Monday. So, therefore, these are matters of which only at the last moment we had a ruling on. And clearly you cannot appeal something that appears for you the same day that you are going into court on another matter. So we will be looking at the options.